As the name suggests, Franks and Deans play the songbook associated with the Rat Pack era. Let's consider the debate about which Las Vegas is best. Was it the vintage Vegas of the mid-century era? Or is it the Las Vegas we currently live in? Well, if you're on the fence with this, Franks and Deans make it so that you don't have to choose. That's because they do a punk interpretation of golden oldies. The album is the best you're gonna feel all day. In the title, we have a rare example of truth in advertising. This is feel-good music. It's impossible to listen to this and be glum. Giving this a spin will help you to create a place in your head where you can take a break from the world. It promises to be the day's best half an hour. The album kicks off with Fly Me to the Moon, which was immortalized by Frank Sinatra. For this, the band jumps back and forth between hard rock and ska. In contrast, Chain Gang is straight up ska. The song just seems to glide. It's a Sam Cooke song, so I hope you didn't have your heart set on an actual Rat Pack cover band. Next up is the Louis Prima classic, Just a Gigolo. Yep, move over, David Lee Roth. Franks and Deans translate the tune's swagger into a rockin' version that's packed with punk attitude. It's hard to hear Splish Splash without getting up and dancing. Yeah, at this point, we're well into the album and immersed in good vibes. You'll be shaking and moving. On a related note, check out the music video for Splish Splash, link below. Dino was always my favorite member of the Rat Pack, so it's no surprise that I adore the Latin-tinged sway. If you're a Quentin Tarantino fan like me, you might remember this next song from Death Proof. I'm talking about the Coasters down in Mexico. Now, to pull off a song like this, the vocal harmonies have got to be spot on. As expected, Franks and Deans pull it off with style. While Nina Simone covered Feeling Good, it is her version that generations of musicians hear when playing it. Personally, I've always loved this tune as done by the band Muse. In this case, Franks and Deans perform a rockin' rendition that does the song justice. Louis Armstrong is one of my musical heroes, so naturally I love the cover of I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, You Rascal You. In this context, the song feels like it was penned by a whimsical gutter punk. Luck Be a Lady is one of the album's highlights. It seems like it should be unnatural to combine Sinatra with ska, but it's done so well that it feels like it was always meant to be. While the entire band is on here, the vocals are just exceptional. And I don't know if it's Samson or Haas doing the lead guitar work, but it is sublime. Hello, Mary Lou reminds us that in each of these 2 to 3 minute songs, the band is polished and tight. Sammy Davis Jr.'s The Candyman is a blast. It's a deeply satisfying song as the guys once again combine ska with rock. I'm filled with delight as I imagine Haas singing the song while dressed up as Willy Wonka. The album finishes on a high note with Sinatra's That's Life. The song underscores the positive vibe that flows through this album. Could there be a greater message of resilience than that's life? And hey, once you put this album on, you've got an instant party. Just add people and perhaps a couple shots of ass juice. The downside of the best you're going to feel all day is that once it's over, the rest of your day is all downhill. Now that is unless you decide to play it again. I don't want to pretend to be unbiased in this review as I adore these guys. At the same time, I don't want you to walk away from this thinking that I'm blinded by my enthusiasm. The band's discography is strong and they're amazing live. With this in mind, I would not describe Franks and Deans as a local band since local band has connotations. I think it's more accurate to describe them as a national quality band that happens to be based out of Vegas. Punk is a loaded word, and I don't know what meaning that word conjures in your mind, but these guys are all seriously talented, and in this endeavor, the guys channel their power into what feels like the greatest celebration of Sin City. What does this have to do with Las Vegas? I'm annoyed when people say there's no real culture in Las Vegas. It's part of the old trope about how Vegas is just a stage to host performers from elsewhere. Vegas has had a vibrant local scene for some time now. You just have to leave the suburbs and the Strip to find it. Franks and Deans are but one example. So to compare them with Sinatra, Martin and the Boys, we should remind ourselves that those guys weren't from Vegas and they didn't stick around long. In contrast, Franks and Deans are Las Vegas. While it's hard to imagine the band not being based out of Vegas, it would be just as difficult to imagine a Vegas without Franks and Deans. While not so much on the best you're going to feel all day, their artwork often conveys a strong sense of place. More specifically, they have a part and parcel relationship with the Double Down Saloon. For me, they're a favorite band that just happens to have a mystical relationship with a favorite gin mill. Indeed, I love it when I show up at the Double Down on some random night and Samson, of all people, is my bartender. Yeah, when you live in Las Vegas, some things just kind of come together like that. The band's commitment to this city is beyond question. Years later, Franks and Deans is still playing the first Wednesday of each month at the Double Down. While their recorded work is tight and muscular, their live shows are loose and bawdy. Their banter will leave you in stitches. You know you want to experience one of their weenie roasts. I mean, you know this. Make it happen. And hey, perhaps you'll come out to see how Nicole Muse, the band's burlesque dancer, interprets the music. She's amazing. So get on Facebook and figure out where they're playing. Who is this album for? People who like to feel good. Open-minded listeners who dig the music of yesteryear. Listeners who read the books of P. Moss. This album is for people who want to celebrate vintage Vegas with a modern edge, but dislike the band Reckless in Vegas. Listeners who like punk and third-generation ska. This album is for people who frequent the Double Down Saloon. Finally, the best you're gonna feel all day is for vegans who want to patronize artists so that our musicians may live a quality life. Where can you get this album? The Best You're Gonna Feel All Day was released in 2017 on Squid Hat. Thanks, Alan Carter. When it comes to acquiring this gem, you can pick up a copy at a show. If you don't want to wait, you can also get it on CD, MP3, or vinyl through Amazon. You can also stream it through Bandcamp and Apple Music, links below. And I want to share with you my cherished vinyl version. Check this out. It is on Flamingo Pink. This is just a beautiful, beautiful album. It actually opens up into a gatefold. Everything this band does is top notch. So have you listened to The Best You're Gonna Feel All Day? While I'm an advocate, what's your opinion? Is the title accurate? Is this your favorite release? Or do you prefer one of the band's other albums? Would you like to see the channel do a review of Surf and Turf, their instrumental surf album? Leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this review and want more, like and subscribe so that you can get notifications when future videos drop. Doing so will give you the second best feeling of the day. Keep it fabulous. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.